Ruben Amorim's first full pre-season at Manchester United has started, and we've obviously seen some new faces in Matheus Cunha and Diego Leon, but we'll run through any smaller details and things we've noticed from the first couple of days of training that might interest you, ahead of more players joining up next week as the work begins towards our first game against Leeds in Stockholm. So the pre-season has started, and I think this is probably the third, maybe fourth year here on United People's TV where I'm covering the pre-season, doing a series like this. I'm not going to overhype anything. I'm just going to pick out bits that I think are interesting, things that you might have missed. And I'm going to do this throughout the pre-season, just like we have done under Ten Hag and Solskjaer as well. But we're doing it now with Ruben Amorim in his first full pre-season. All right? There's so much more that needs to be sorted. We need Mbeumo. We need a new goalkeeper. We need Sancho gone, Garnacho gone, Rashford gone. You know that overall, we've genuinely needed about 10 transfers in and out. But let's run through what we've seen straight away. And something I noticed immediately. Some of the players are definitely looking leaner. Kobbie Mainoo, we know that he's been out in America training hard with Euro. He's hired a sort of explosive coach. We can work on that acceleration and agility over the first few yards. He's definitely leaned his frame down a bit. Luke Shaw's actually fit. For how long? That's kind of my reaction to Luke Shaw being involved in pre-season again. No offense, Luke, but yeah, that ship has sailed with me. Anyway, let's see when he gets injured. Toby Collier, he's fit. He had a lot of injuries last season, but the players are definitely looking a bit leaner. I think that can only be considered a good thing because, let's be honest, athletically, we were just so on the floor, and it's going to be a big thing about this pre-season. Now, in terms of the new players and new signings, the frustrations of Mbeumo still exist, but I'm excited about seeing Matheus Cunha in a United shirt, man. And he looks like he suits red. And I saw this clip here. This is just a little few-second clip. Hopefully United don't shut me down for this. But this is a big reason why I'm excited about him. The ball carrying. Holding a player off. Holding a defender off. See ya. Laying it off. He knocks it in. I'm looking forward to having a genuine ball carrier in this team that can actually drive it forward 10, 15 yards when we get into the opposition's half. Hold off a defender. We haven't had those players, man. It's a big reason why I think he's going to be a good signing. And I'll tell you what, while I don't know exactly what's going to happen with Xerxes this season and where he's going to play, etc., the technical quality that exists in those three is a big old step up from what we've got used to over these years at United. We still need a striker. We still need another number 10. We still need a central midfielder. We still need so much more. But Ahmed, where'd you get a haircut, mate? Anyway, let's move on to the other new signing who's joined in, Diego Leon. He's getting involved straight away. Mate, the guy is an absolute bloody unit. Nah, see that? Nice. Oh, yeah, good. Something that he's going to have to really work on. Having watched a few of his games out in Cerro Porteño in Paraguay, he's naturally good, very, very good going forward. He's got that attacking instinct. And I suppose it's a little bit like Harry Amas, for example, who I think and does have that natural quality and instinct going forward, but it's defensively about learning the positioning, and that's the art of learning how to be a modern-day fullback, which I still stand by, is the single hardest position you can get in modern-day football because you have to add to the attack, and you've also got to make sure that you're back in defence and you're never out of position. But Diego Leon's settling in straight away. I think Lenny Yoro is sort of helping him settle, maybe in the fact that Lenny Yoro had to do the same thing last summer. I don't quite know. I very much see Diego Leon playing with the under-21s. Does he qualify for the under-18s, or is it the fact that he's just turned 18 mean that he doesn't? I presume so. I don't actually know. You might see him in the first team environment, but you'll definitely see him as part of pre-season. Now, what about the other youngsters? First thing to note here is that there was a big squad, development squad, under-18s, under-21s that went to Germany last week for like a 5-day pre-season training camp. I think it was at Adidas HQ. You can see Ibrahimov there. Who else we got? There's JJ Gabriel over there, a 14-year-old lad. I haven't seen any photos of him involved in training so far, but I have seen Shea Lacey. And Shea Lacey is a name that definitely we would know more of right now if it wasn't for the injuries that he's had over the last couple of years. His progress has really been hurt by his injury. So if I'm going to wish one thing for Shea Lacey this season, it's to stay injury-free. He hasn't played for the under-21s yet, so I imagine that's going to be the pathway for him. But just stay injury-free. Fingers crossed for him. Tyler Fredrickson, of course, made his debut last season under Amorim. He's involved in the training as well, as is Reece Munro on the left and Bendito Mantato on the right. And Mantato is a player that I've highlighted as he has the potential to be a right wing back option for Ruben Amorim. I want to see him in the preseason tour. And actually, Shea Lacey, Monroe, and Bendita Mantato all got new numbers. Shea Lacey down from 72 to 61. Mantato from 85 to 70. And Monroe from 79 to 65. Sort of an indicator maybe that they're going to be more involved. I don't quite know. But Reece Monroe is a centre-back. Let's see. Now, this is an interesting one to finish on. And I hope that this is going to be something which actually leads to a visual change in how United attack next season. This is Shea Lacey on the ball there. Ahmad out on the right-hand side. Easy stroking the ball across. No cross. Just a cut back. Nice. Easy finish for Cunha. But we saw this under 10. I remember seeing it under Ten Hag as well. There was a clear emphasis for United to, instead of just like fire across in its... And I don't know whether it's part of modern football, whether it's just the way that United would attack. But if we go back to this photo here and we speak about how he's going to be playing this season, that's how you're going to get Xerxes scoring more goals. You're going to get the ball to him on the edge of the box by focusing on cutbacks, not crosses. We haven't got a striker right now. I mean, we've got Højlund, but we haven't really got a striker. Not somebody we can rely on to be there, to be the focal point, to get on the end of early crosses and stuff like that. So I think increase your odds. If you've got players like Cunha in your team, if you've got players like Xerxes in your team, and fingers crossed, soon you've got players like Mbumo in your team, then focusing the attacks on cutbacks rather than crosses, with the wing-backs overloading and late runners to the edge of the box. That's how Amorim's Sporting scored so many goals. That's how Gyökeres scored so many goals. Simple tap-ins from fizzed-in cutbacks rather than launched crosses. Let's see. Now, these, of course, are just the early impressions from pre-season. Our first game isn't until next Saturday against Leeds, and that's just kind of an extra pre-season game. The actual pre-season starts when we fly out to America. I think we play Bournemouth, Everton, and West Ham, and then we come back to Old Trafford and we play Fiorentina. Let's see what goes on in these games. We need more. I know we need more. You know we need more. But it's good to see the players leaning down. Amorim's now getting used to the new squad, I suppose. The strange thing that we found out was that Rashford trained alone at Carrington. So what was he doing? Like on a separate pitch? Or was he just in the gym? I don't know. Anyway, they're just some things I noticed from the preseason, from the first couple of days. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. And throughout the preseason, we'll do this as the series, as we always do. Hopefully giving you a bit of an inside look into what's actually going on.